Ooh, all right, Cancer, you guys have the Five of Wands as your underlying energy. So conflict is a really big thing for you guys, okay? And I think that it has a lot to do with, honestly, your routine and things like that, things being in order and having the commitment. Feeling committed in your relationship is very important right now. Underneath that, you have the Queen of Cups. So far you have three queens. And the only queen that's missing here is the Queen of Wands. So let's talk about commitment again, like I was talking about, because the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles especially, is all about commitment. What you're willing to commit to, Cancer. You're a cardinal sign, so you would come up with Queen. So a lot of this reading has a lot to do with you, has a lot to do with how you see your relationship, and there's a lot of conflict about what you can commit to or who you are committing to. Where is the commitment? Where's the stability? Where's the ability to be comfortable and vulnerable in your relationship? Well, there's a lot of back and forth, either internally or with your partner about that. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Ooh, Cancer, you guys have the Hierophant here. So this is really talking about, like I said before, commitment. Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant there. This is big, hardcore commitment issues, right? And I feel like you guys are either having a hard time figuring out what you can commit to, where you can put your heart and soul into. This person that you're interacting with, like this person, you're having a hard time seeing like the necessary strains of responsibility that can come from this person. And I feel like right now you're having a hard time you feel very committed in your relationship, no doubt. Like you feel committed with this person, but then at the same time, you don't know this person is committing to you back in the best way that you feel is proper, right? Like the way that commitment should be received back, right? But I feel like you are committed here. You feel good. I think ultimately you may be dealing with someone that has different ways of being, a different personality type, different race, different religion, different whatever. I feel like you're dealing with somebody that's very different from the normal type. So the traditions and stuff like that can be also a conflicting energy as well. But there's a lot of change, a lot of big changes here. Where you want to be, though, is yourself. You want to be the Queen of Cups. You want to be very vulnerable and open to your emotions. You want to know what's in your cup and not necessarily reveal it to everyone. You want to be very confident in regards to who you give your love to, because it's very valuable and it's very important to you. Because you want to be in your energy. You want to feel good about being in love with this person. But then at the same time, though, what's keeping you from being the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Swords. You guys are being very, 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 very serious. Very, very scary, actually. Now, Cancer, you're not playing any games right now. I feel like, honestly, for those of you guys could be really feeling this energy. You guys could be really feeling like you're cutting people. You're really being very deadly serious with things. You're doing the necessary cutting work. Or for some of you guys are not walking in your truth at all. You guys are not really seeing your truth. You're not really relying on your truth, knowing what trusting in yourself to being able to handle your business in a very serious manner. I think for a lot of you guys, if you guys are not cutting away at some serious stuff or really being serious in your relationships in regards to not really playing any games, it's about not taking things very seriously at all. You guys are not tapping into the Queen of Swords energy, and you're actually being very distant and cold at the very most. So for a lot of you guys, and it has a lot to do with an ending that happened that was pretty brutal. I think something ended very, very badly. I think something may have had even ended before it was ready, or I think it was. Whenever something ends, it was meant to end. But at the same time, though, I feel like with the Ten of Swords, Ten of Swords is saying it was an abrupt ending. It left you dead and out in the cold. It just fucking destroyed you. And I feel like, honestly, this was what either got your back up really strong or just really makes you unsure of what your own truth is, what you truly, where your strengths are. But I feel like ultimately it's made you cold and very distant because of something that ended really badly. And that's why you're not here at this vulnerable, happy to kind of express your love and your emotions in a very open and, vulnerable way, because you have been betrayed before. You've been backstabbed. So you're very cold and distant, or you're very serious and ready to cut people due to that. But you're really looking for commitment. You're really here committed in your relationships. So that has a lot to do as well with the Five of Wands. I think this back and forth, this conflict has a lot to do with what you're willing to commit to and who has put forth the right commitment. I feel like, honestly, because of this betrayal in the past with the Ten of Swords here, I feel like this person is telling you that they're stable, they're very trustworthy with this Queen of Pentacles here. But you don't trust them. You don't trust. The Queen of Swords, she has trust issues, right? That's a very known fact for her. She has very bad trust issues. She doesn't trust anyone but herself because she knows that she knows her truth. She knows everything that she needs to know about herself to help her get through any difficult situation. But as far as trusting anybody else, you have to come at her with the truth, and she will help you. But if you lie to her, she will destroy you. There's not a lot of trust here, Cancer. I feel like somebody had betrayed you in the past. So you can't really be open 100%, and you can commit. But being emotionally open isn't the story, okay? Commitment is not having an emotional openness. Commitment is being like, okay, I can do this relationship. I can be this way. But you have to be, but there's a little bit of a level to this, right? There's the layers to relationships. Okay, there's the commitment layer, but then also there's the emotional layer. If you can't get to the emotional layer, but you can commit, it's because you have trust issues right now. You don't trust something. You don't trust somebody, and it's because you've been backstabbed before. It's time to look at what the problem is and really hammer out those issues. Really look at what it is that's keeping you from trusting and really hammering those out. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. It's not going to be happening overnight. You're going to need to work on it day in and day out. If you have to find that commitment to work on those issues. This trust issue is really big. So you have to really allow yourself that compassion and that time and that patience to really put in the work. Okay, put in the work and really allow yourself to trust again. Either you can't trust someone, or this person that you want to trust, they're not trustworthy, or maybe you are not trustworthy in a sense. Like you happen to be very vulnerable and open with other people, and you just kind of feel like because someone betrayed you, you don't really need to be honest with that person that you're with. Now that's just playing out for some people, but Cancer, if that's you, then oh my goodness, right now it's trying to work on why you need to be more, why the commitment is there, why you need to work on commitment and trust in yourself and in your partner. But then if, I also feel like this is you guys not feeling like you can trust anybody, that you can't allow yourself to be emotionally open because you've been betrayed before, okay? It still is going to require a lot of work and a lot of patience, and it's not going to happen overnight, but it's still something to work on. It's still something to really be compassionate to yourself and your partner about, because again, your current partner doesn't look like that doesn't look like the kind of person that's cheating on you. Doesn't look like the kind of person that's going to betray you. They may have done something that was probably underhanded maybe in the past, if this is an ex. But ultimately, this is not saying that this person is very unreliable. This is someone that shows reliability, that shows commitment, but you don't see that. You have a lot of conflict. You just don't believe that they can be honest with you. You don't believe that they can be stable with you, but they're not showing you anything other than that. That's what I see. They're not showing you instability. You just see it that way, okay? And it's because of some pain that you received in the past, no doubt. Now, in your feelings, you have the Six of Swords. So yes, this is a transition, and it's not an easy one. A transition where you're having to leave one part of you behind and kind of, make that step, the necessary steps ahead to get to the place where you really want to be, right? To where you can really, truly grow and prosper. Now, with this Six of Swords here, this transition is, it's just very serious in a sense, right? Because it doesn't have to necessarily mean physical change or physical transition, but it talks about, inner ones. So whatever you're having to leave behind, you're changing. Obviously, you can feel it, but it's not happening very fast. But it's going to need time, discipline, effort on your part and your partner's part. You'll see that you can trust them because there's commitment here. There is commitment. Commitment not just on your side, but commitment on their side. There's commitment here to working on this, so that you can be this way. But you have to realize that there is somebody that's working with you, and you have to work with yourself to get to this. But it's going to require a lot of patience, a lot of time, and compassion. Now, for your hopes and fears, you have the Knight of Cups. Okay, Knight of Cups is indicating to me that you guys really want to be a lot more free with how you feel, and focusing on what your heart's desire is, being more romantic and being open about how you feel, and romantically open towards your partner. I feel like ultimately you guys want your partner to be even more emotionally open with you, even. But guys, it requires you to be open first. You see, the Queen of Cups is you. If you want to be this way, you have to work on these. You have to work on, opening yourself up, figuring out why, letting go of this betrayal, letting go of what happened, recognizing the truth in, the lesson that was in this mess, so that way you can be free, to be open, to be happy. But until you get there, you cannot expect someone else to be this way. You cannot. It cannot work that way. I mean, you have to be open within yourself. Everything, like attracts like, right? We talk about manifesting and, bringing in what we want. You have to be what you want. You have to be what you want. So to be what you want, you can get what you want. But until then, you have to be open with your emotions, with yourself, with others, with your partner. But you have to release this first, of course. Your outcome, you have Temperance, so it's divine timing. And that's, in a sense, a very, very strong card, because that means things will be imbalanced. You will be balanced in yourself, and divine timing will do what it can to get you to what you really want. Get you this person that is very open emotionally, that's very romantic, that's very, that is focused on you as their love of their life, right? Someone that's really willing to romance them. But you have to, you have to be open emotionally. You have to show yourself compassion and love first. And until then, you have, you gotta look at the situation for what it is. You gotta see the betrayal and go back, even if it hurts a little bit, because it doesn't look like you really walked away from it. And it doesn't mean that it's something that's so serious, like the Ten of Swords. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying that you need to walk away from it the second it happens. It's going to take time, of course. That's why I said to be very patient and compassionate with yourself. But don't rush the situation. Don't rush your partner. Don't get impatient with them, because this is your issue at the end of the day. It's not theirs. Okay, Cancer. And this is your goal, to be more emotionally open anyway, to feel like more in your power. So allow yourself patience, allow yourself time, allow yourself to open up slowly if you need to. Spread those wings to kind of get, to feel that stretch and that freedom, to know that, hey, okay, that happened in the past. It doesn't mean it's going to happen again. You have to allow yourself to love. Okay? Allow yourself to love again. And that is self-love in itself. Your partner is going to do only so much. But all the work that's going to be done is really yours. It's all yours. And that's why the Eight of Pentacles is coming out. It's to really focus and hammering out those hard issues, to really be able to transition to be the Queen of Cups. The inner turmoil, the conflict, it's just that I feel like you don't know if you can trust the people that you're with, that you can be very stable. Oh wow, you guys have 2 cards. Oh wow. I'm going to give them both to you guys. Okay. But this conflict is not about this other person. It's about you, if you can be stable or not, right? It's for some of you. For some of you, it's about, okay, can this person commit to me or not? And then for a lot of you guys, this is really conflict about you being stable and you wanting to commit to someone or not in yourself. Can you commit? Can you be stable? Can you trust someone after what you did? Or do you feel like you're gonna go off on your own and do something that's promiscuous or not very faithful? So it's all depending on, which side resonates with you the most, Cancer. But Queens that are coming up here, and that's your energy. You're the only cardinal sign in here that I'm reading for. So the cards that you guys have for your Romance Angels, which is the first one that came up, is it is safe for you to love, okay? Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. To be free, You have to believe that you're safe with this person to even do that. But you have to be safe within yourself to know that you can do that. Flirt as well as one of those things. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. So that's very, very, very true. You don't feel like you can be open with these people, open with your partner. You don't feel like you can be open with hardly anybody right now. So it's time to find that blockage, find that betrayal, find whatever it was that was keeping you from being able to. Ooh, wow! Holy smokes! 2 cards from Whispers of Love. Jeez. Wow. Slow down is what you guys have, and you guys have miracles and blessings. Everything has its gifts. So despite what you've been through, you have to look at the bright side of the situation, right? And it's hard to do, especially when you've been hurt so badly, you've been betrayed, you've been put your trust into somebody and they've backstabbed you, or you've put or someone put their trust into you, and then you've been cut loose because of because you couldn't be what they wanted for you. That's in a sense a betrayal in itself, right? Rejection. But you have to recognize the situations have their lessons and has their moments to show you that you are strong and you can overcome any difficult situation. And that in itself is a blessing and a miracle to show you that you have the strength to be open and loving and yet serious when necessary. You can be both, but you don't have to choose one or the other. So it's trying to find through the difficult and the hardships, the happiness, or not the happiness, but the lessons and the goodness that you can find out of this difficult situation. Okay, it's super hard to do, and no doubt about it. But that is what's going to take. That's what's going to take time, is to see the bright side of the situation. If you were rejected, if you were, if your trust was betrayed, if you betrayed someone else's trust, if you showed someone's safety and you took that away from them, and they showed you safety and they took that away from you, that is something in itself that's very mortifying, very sad, and very hurtful to do. But at the same time, it shows you something in yourself, that power in yourself that you may not have never really seen before. How strong you can love is such a powerful thing in itself. That's a beautiful thing right there. You can't deny that. So slow down, take some time out to really see, the situation for what it is. See the situation for what it is. Don't go blindly. Don't think that this is all you're going to ever get. Because the Ten of Swords is never what you're always going to get. You've hit the low of the low when you hit the Ten of Pentacles. The worst is over. It's time now to rebuild off of that, and you have to rebuild from yourself up, and you have to trust and love yourself. Give yourself that compassion, forgive yourself for feeling that pain, and find that power in yourself to move forward, and recognize the blessings and the miracles after this. Even after the situation has happened, the blessing, the miracle, who you are. You're still a person. You're still put together. You may be slightly broken, but you can fix those pieces. You can. But it's just remaining strong and knowing that you can get there. Alright, Cancer. I'm going to let you guys go. I hope this reading helped, and I hope you guys can, see that you guys are very powerful people. You are very strong, and you can heal any wound that you have or anyone else has. But you have to find your wounds first and heal them first. It's like the same principle as if when you go onto an airplane, right? Before you give someone their oxygen mask, you have to put yours on first. So right now, Cancer, focusing on you is okay. It's totally fine. Don't blame anybody for your issues. Don't blame anybody for what you've been through. And yes, it can still mean that person betrayed you, and that doesn't mean that they're in the right for betraying you. That thing, I'm not condoning anything like that, but what I am saying that those issues stay with you. Whatever stays with you is your issues, and you have to give yourself love to release those. And it's okay. It's not your fault that you've been betrayed, but it is your responsibility to handle those difficulties on your own, and it is your responsibility to give yourself that compassion, to give yourself that time.